you get those peepers? Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those eyes? Gosh, all get up, how'd you get so lit up? Gosh, all get up, how they hypnotize.
Logic. But I would say that it is cheaper to be a peeper. It is cheaper to be a peeper. That's if you consider a peeping Tom as some sort of antisocial recluse, some sort of introvert, some sort of person who has failed interactions with women, someone that is scared to death of women, and so forth. Yeah, I would say it's cheaper to be a peeper, because when I think about all the money that I've spent on my female, now don't get me wrong, I don't mind spending money on women. You know, that's just how I was raised. It's just how I did things. It's how my father did things. But I think of all the money that I've spent just after Christmas. Yeah, no, I'm like, but now you can take that, and you can run with it. But you know, when I hear about these guys, these antisocial people, or you know, that never had a relationship with a woman, that Elliot dude never had a girlfriend in her life, and when I analyze them now, the older I get, I don't pity these guys. Because if Monty's only thing against me is that I can't get women, I'm like, if he only knew. So like what my father said, getting females is the easy part. Once you pull them, that's when the hard part comes in. Because a lot of the problems, you know, that I remember in my life, you know, came from women. Not just emotional scars, but actual physical scars, like this mark right here. But I've never claimed to be any sort of Casanova, nor do I have claimed to be any sort of Don Juan. I don't know, it's just, it is what it is. And we're going to go into the logic here, you know what I mean? We're going to go into the psychology of it. And actually, you know, you could do your research yourself. That people that do, some people, I'm not saying all, but that kind of stalk women, you know what I'm saying, want to peep on women, even a lot of tricks. A lot of these people, you know what I'm saying, they have girlfriends, they have wife and kids, you know. Like for instance, in Monty's video, people was even calling me a pedophile. And a lot of pedophiles have wife and children. So therefore, and that's the thing, and people do these things, these kind of like sexual deviant things, because it's part of their sexual arousal pattern. And that's the thing, you know, it's something they get off on. Like, you know, they may still have regular sex, but they need something more edgy, you know, and so forth. And Monty's character of me is someone that is happy and giddy when I'm around women, you know. But a real an antisocial dude is kind of, he's scared of women, you know. He has paranoid and stiff around women, not overjoyous, you know. You see what I mean? I'm like, that's just realistic, thinking realistically. But that's Monty's perception of me. And when I dig a little deeper, it's his inner projection of himself. Now, when we analyze Monty's habits here on YouTube, the things that he's done, let's see, playing with dildos and blow-up dolls, talking about penis pumps, telling another grown man over the phone that he has an 11-inch penis, having an explicit conversation with what's perceived to be an underage female, him constantly hollering at females, trying to get them over the internet. This is the profile of a sexual deviant, a pervert, a pedophile, and a sociopath. See, that's the thing. People got it all backwards. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can do your own research. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I want you to. That a lot of these guys, these sexual miscreants, are actually very social people. They're people that want attention. They almost, some of them even have a narcissistic mentality. That it's the opposite of what people believe. That it's not some stalking dude that wants to cover up and who's shy. No, they're outgoing. They have this weird, bizarre sexual fetish, and they'll just go to the links. That's why a lot of pedophiles. I'm like, a lot of pedophiles are married and have kids. A lot of serial killers and stalkers are married with kids. It's something that they do. It's not something that happens because someone is an antisocial because they can't interact with people. No, it's just something they like do. They get a pleasure from it. A lot of people that peep in the bushes, they do it just for the pleasure of it. It's part of their sexual habits. It's regular sex is like, okay, but they have to do something edgy if they get caught. The intensity of it. And let's face it, now on my channel that, I don't like to down women and, call women bitches. But a lot of females are full of shit. I do believe that a lot of women, if they catch a peeper in their bushes, that they'll be flattered. Especially nowadays. I'm like, come on. But I really need to stop drinking that stuff. But also, here's another thing that I noticed about old Monty, which a lot of people didn't catch up on. And this is what I believe. I believe that this dude is into necrophilia, because he does these roast videos with dead bodies. Or what, dressing somebody up around dead people, and that he has that blow up doll, and that's a dead person. And he's done this over him talking ill about the dead, and the fact that he's comfortable doing a video inside of a cemetery. He did a couple of them. And me, I'm scared to death of cemeteries. Even the only time I want to go is to visit, my own dead relatives, and I'm usually accompanied by somebody. But just going into the cemetery for virtually no reason at all, just to make a video, that's fucking odd. That's strange. And if you analyze and you look at the profile of a lot of sexual deviants, when we know Monty is blow up dog, weird shit, a lot of them are into necrophilia. They're necrophiliacs. Go check out a serial killer by the name of Ed Gein. He dug up bodies and had sex with them. So that's what I think Monty is. Monty, I'm not saying that he did it, but I guarantee you he has fantasies of it. He thinks about it. He thinks about going into the grave, getting a dead body, and having sex with it. I'm surprised nobody has picked up on that. Now the thing is with me, I get discriminated against. I get no equality whatsoever, because people, when they have their little brick brat against me, when Monty does characters on other people, Kevin Smith, Tyrone Thompson, Clifton Rainey, I'm not knocking anybody, but I notice he uses an element of realism there, something that they have done, and then, he runs with it, Tyrone Thompson, the way Tyrone was obsessed with Tommy Sotomayor, and he used that to an advantage. There's some truth there. But with me, nada, zilch. Monty has to create his own character. His own perception of me. That's it. Like, okay, he got to be some sort of lonely dude. And this is only, this only proves how my reputation is infallible, how nobody can dig up any sort of dirt on me. Just like LA saying I'm a crackhead. But then this idiot had the nerve. I'm like, oh, he had a crack pipe so conveniently available to him. It would have been much smarter, even if he did have like 10 crack pipes laying around his house. If LA had, 2 brain cells to run together, he'll get a tobacco pipe and pretend it's a crack pipe. But imagine if someone was to find some sort of a police record on me, possession of crack cocaine. they'll be fucking going crazy. They be going nuts. You know, because now they say, oh, I can make fun of you, but it happened. It's true. Just like when Monty posts, and this comes out of Monty's own mouth, that roasting is roasted, but truth, you know what I'm saying? He said a roasting is effective when it's 90% true. You know, where you can somehow link it with reality. And the thing is with me, first of all, I like my seclusion. You know what I mean? I had bad luck with friends. I had my best friend wrecked my car, and I was a complete loss. My insurance wouldn't cover it because he was driving it, and he didn't have a driver's license. But and there was just some strange circumstances on how he was behind my wheel. I did give him the keys to the car, but you know, I was, you know what I'm saying, me and him was drinking, and he got called in to come to work. I wasn't thinking straight, and I said, here man, you know, he said, oh, I had to go to work today, I didn't know. I said, here it is, take my car. So it was, you know, and so it's almost like the older I get, I mean, maybe it's my interactions with people, being some sort of friendless, antisocial dude who can't get a female, I kind of envy those guys when it comes to think about it. But looking at Monty's pattern here on YouTube, I'm like, this guy is not normal. Now, I did a video with my female on it, and some people saw it, some people didn't. But she was viciously attacked. And, you know, people said that she was ugly, she was skinny like a crackhead, she walked funny like, you know, or whatever. So, I took the video down to shield her from these incendiary remarks. And that tells you that I've done more to protect my female than Monty Woodgrain has his wife. And that's sad. I mean, we're gonna, all joking aside, that's sad. LA does the same fucking shit. And I tell people that if, and this is no offense to Clifton, this even kind of goes to Clifton Rainey too. No, I'm gonna be honest. If you know how the sharks are biting, why the fuck would you still be out here in open waters? Put your siblings out there in open waters. I'm like, that's how, you know, it's almost like these people, they're using their loved ones, their wife, their baby mothers as sacrificial lambs, as bait for people to get pity on them so they can go at people and say, you talked about my wife, you talked about this, now I'm going to really get you. You know, me, myself, I'm not going to let my female be involved in this madness here because she knows what's going on and so forth. But you know, just looking at the things Monty has done, you know, that's really, so when you watch that movie or whatever, that's him. Because there's nothing that I've done. I've never hollered at a female through YouTube. I've never had some sort of conversation with a sexual conversation with a woman on Google Plus. Because I know how these games play. If I do a shout out to a female, people will say, oh, you got problems with female. That's because I mentioned a female's name in my video. People will go nuts and ape shit and so forth. And people in this corner really don't respect women. Especially mine. They call females bitches and hoes and sluts or whatever. But when it comes to me, they automatically put females on a perch. They make them to be some sort of unattainable object. Or you can't get them and this and that. But you said they're just nothing but a bunch of sluts and bitches and hoes that will fuck anybody. You know, especially how they talk about black women. But I gotta keep my videos at, 15 minutes. I can't run over time. But thanks for watching, and good night, gentlemen.
I don't care how the weather van points when the weather van points to gloomy. It's gotta be sunny to me when your eyes look into mine. Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those eyes? Gosh, all get up, how'd you get so lit up? Gosh, all get up.